All right, so once you open up your laptop, you have what we call the desktop. Okay, this is the desktop, and then this bar at the bottom is called the what? Tax bar. This bar at the bottom is called the tax bar. And depending on the model of your laptop, you have the start button here. Can you see? This is the start button. So once you open up the start button, you can see applications that have been pinned to the start button. All right. So these are applications that are pinned to the start button. I told us about the calculator. We have calculator as an application. You have clock, you have calendar, you have your settings and all whatnot. All right. And then you can pin the applications you use most often on your tax bar. You can pin the applications you use most often on your tax bar. So I'm going to quickly open an application and show us how to pin it to our tax bar. All right. So let's say I click on the start button and I want to let me open calculator now. For this calculator, if I want to pin it to my tax bar, I'll just right click, and I'll say pin to tax bar. So once I pin it to the tax bar, if I close it up, it will remain on the tax bar. So any application you use often on your laptop, which is your personal laptop, you can pin it to your tax bar. Do is just to right click on the application, like this one. Now this is my recorder. I'll just right click and I'll pin to the tax bar. If I want to, you can unpin it at any time. So if you want to unpin, I'll right click and I'll unpin. Okay, and then any application you open is called a window. Whatever application you open is called a window. At the very top, any application you open opens up in a window. Okay, it opens up in a window. So this dash up here is called minimize. So can you see this dash up here? If you click on it, it helps you to minimize the window. So the window is not closed, but it just brings it down. All right, it just brings it down. It's not closed, it just brings it down. So that's called the minimize. And then once you minimize, you can bring it back up by just hovering over the application. So once I hover over the application, I can just click on it and it will come back up. So that's how to minimize an application. Okay, now the next one is called maximize. The next one is called maximize. Now the maximize, it can help you to reduce your window or increase your window size. Okay, so if I increase it like this, did you see what happened? As I clicked on it to become one square, I have reduced the window size. I didn't minimize it, I didn't hide it. Minimize means hiding. And then now that it's minimized, I can increase the size of the window anyhow I want. Okay, so I can just hover towards the edge. Once I see this arrow, I can drag it like so, and I can increase this window to any size I want. Did we get that? I can reduce and increase it. So we're going to do something tricky and interesting right now. So this is a window I opened. If I click back on this maximize, I can make it to be fuller. So when you see these two squares, means it is fully maximized. If I click on it, it can what? Minimize. Okay, so I'm going to open another application and I'm going to teach us something very interesting, how to share screen. Because you can decide to open two applications and work with two of them at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to open my notepad. This is my notepad. Can you see that I have two windows open? So we can open multiple windows. We can open multiple windows. So I've opened my notepad. I can also open another application. Let me open the clock. Can you see? So I've opened multiple windows. Now let's do something interesting. Did we get this part before I move on? Press the Windows key and the right arrow and move the current window to the right. Okay, hold your Windows key and press your left arrow. It will shift your windows to the left. I want to show us how to split your screen and use two applications at the same time. Let's say you are typing, you are doing research on your browser. That window can be open, and you can open your word processor on another window. So for my own laptop, all I need to do is to click on another window and it will move to the left. Can you see? Call it a day. In the absence of anything, this will be me saying bye. Have a
Thank you so much.
nice evening.